Hey, it's Tom here, and today I'm going to be talking about the new film written and directed by Julia Lee called Sleeping Beauty. It's starring Emily Browning as Lucy, who is a university student. She works a number of part-time jobs in a cafe, in an office, and also as a volunteer in a lab where she has tubes stuck down her throat, which is the hardest thing to watch in the whole film. I was gagging, it was a mess. She's also working as a prostitute. At least you can infer that. It's not explicitly stated, and you never see money changing hands, but you can tell, you can gather from the information you're seeing on screen that she is prostituting herself. She ends up getting involved with this cult where she takes a drug, she falls asleep, and as she's asleep, a man will come in and do what he wants to her, except penetrate her. He's not allowed to penetrate her. It's stated a number of times in the film. I have no idea why that's profound or important, but apparently it is, because they state it enough times. So he doesn't penetrate her, but he can do anything else he wants. And then she wakes up and goes on with her day, and she doesn't remember a single thing, and earns a shitload of money in the process. So this film has divided critics. There's been quite a few positive reviews and quite a few negative reviews. It played in competition at Cannes, and to very mixed reviews. I looked on Rotten Tomatoes just now to see what the situation is there, and it's actually got 50%, which is a very telling percentage, very much down the middle. To me, it falls on the negative side of the spectrum. It wasn't a film I really liked, but I can definitely admire it, and I like the fact that Julia Lee was ambitious, she was unashamedly arty, and she put exactly what she wanted to on the screen. And I get the impression that she doesn't care what anyone else thinks. She's done what she wanted to do, she's put what she wanted to on the screen, and that's that, and she's happy with it. The problem for me is the fact that it's so arty and unashamedly deliberate that it kind of ends up crossing over into this performance art type of situation, or art gallery video type of situation. I really can imagine going into an art gallery and watching an isolated scene from this movie being projected onto the wall and actually finding it quite profound or important. Or I could see a scene from this film being reenacted in an art gallery or a performance art type of venue and it really being affecting. And the reason that I say that is everything in this film feels incredibly deliberate. The way that the camera's placed, the way that everything in the shot is placed, and the way that the characters are situated, and the way that they're talking to each other, and the way that they're placed on the screen. There's just something very deliberate about it and staged about it. It all feels very static. So I could definitely imagine seeing it on a stage or some sort of venue like that. For example, there's a scene where one of the clients who is about to spend some quality time with Emily Browning's character delivers a monologue to Rachel Blake's character, who's called Clara. She's the person who runs the whole operation, if you call it that. And this monologue is very long, it goes on for a long time, and he's talking about a short story that he's read. And I can just imagine seeing that in an isolated place, without the context of the rest of the film overshadowing it, and it being quite moving or quite profound. But to me, it kind of came across a little bit silly in the context of the rest of the film, and meaningless, and not contributing in any way. It just kind of felt like a little interlude where someone's now going to do an arty monologue and everyone's going to pay attention and everyone's going to be moved by it, and it just felt a little bit silly and inappropriate for where it was in the film. Also, the scenes with a character called Birdman, who's played by Ewan Leslie, they don't feel natural to me. I think Emily Browning's character, Lucy, is supposed to be in a situation where she only really has one real relationship, and that's with Birdman. She only really cares about him, she doesn't care about anyone else, and it's the only real relationship that she can cling on to, the only person that she really cares about. But to me, the way that they acted together felt so staged again and so deliberate again that I couldn't really believe in their relationship. They didn't really seem to have any chemistry with each other, and I didn't really believe anything that was going on screen. Essentially, all this deliberate pacing leads to characters who are also deliberate and also very removed, so you can't really root for any of them, you don't really believe in any of them. I didn't feel like any of them were at all real characters. They all felt like they were serving a role in the film, but they weren't real people breathing on screen and real people that the film was coming out of. They all felt kind of like puppets for the director to move around the set. And so by the end, when there were a couple of emotional scenes, especially when Lucy was having to deal with loss and she was having to come to terms with the things that she was doing, I didn't believe her. The emotion that was coming from her didn't seem genuine to me, and I couldn't really get behind her, and I didn't really care. I was just kind of thinking, hurry up and end, I'm bored, I want to go home, I'm not interested in this anymore, and that's the impression that I was left with by the end. Altogether, these scenes didn't come together. It didn't have a cohesive narrative. Everything felt like it was straining to be so profound, and it never really quite reached there, and altogether felt like an empty piece. Like, it didn't really say anything at all in the end. At best, this film reminded me of films I really like or appreciate, like Eyes Wide Shut or Sallow, which really do say something and really are profound and really are saying something. I keep wondering now if Emily Browning is a good enough actress to play this role, if a more interesting, deep actor would have been able to take this role on. Would it have been a little bit more three-dimensional? And I know that Mia Wasikowska was supposed to play the main role before Emily Browning got signed on, and I keep thinking if she would have got hold of this role, she might have done an incredible job with it. But I can't tell if it's her or if it's just the direction that Julia Lee was giving, because everyone across the board seemed to have this strange, removed quality about them that I couldn't really get behind. Maybe that's the point. Maybe it's all supposed to be abstract and not important, but I just didn't believe in anyone. Okay, so I'm definitely not recommending this film, but I'm not by any means trying to dissuade you from seeing it. I think it has its place, I'm glad I saw it, and it would be good for some people to see it, and some people could get something out of it that I didn't. But I'm going to have to give it a 2 out of 5, it's just my personal taste. So whether you agree or disagree, please leave a comment down below and I'll definitely get back to you. Please like my video, it'd help me out a lot, and if you like the video then please subscribe because there will be more videos coming soon. Thanks for watching.